on, ladies and gentlemen. The voice of Red One now pulling up at 400 miles an hour, flying from a very wide wall formation measuring 950 feet. They now apex this loop at 6,000 feet above us, slowing down to about 150 miles an hour. And you can see they have formed our trademark Diamond 9 shape. Leading the team is Red One, he's squadron leader David Montenegro. Monty's in his second year as the team's leader. He is a former Tornado pilot and Hawk flying instructor. And I can actually just see Ange, Monty's partner there, just finished the run. Big wave to Ange, she's about to get interviewed by the BBC. So well done Ange, running for the John Egging Trust this morning. Looking to the east now, a shape is
se dá pra ver porque tá ouvir por causa do vento. O ângulo da câmera é bem aberto. Eles estão passando, eu tô tentando focar neles o tempo todo.
Dropping back to BB Red 6's jet in the middle of the formation. And that is that space shuttle shape being formed.
Eles vão passar aqui na frente agora.
They're going to fly the shuttle roll. Now you'll see all 9 jets going upside down at 2,500 feet at 400 miles per hour in the shape of the space shuttle. The closest parts of the aircraft in this shape are around about 6 feet away from each other. At the front of the right-hand wing of that shuttle shape is Red 2. He's the first of our 2 new pilots this year. He is Flight Lieutenant Matt Masters. Matt started his career down in Yorkshire where he was an instructor teaching basic fast jet training. He then became a Tornado pilot before moving on to fly this version of Hawk as an aggressor squadron, providing frontline training with target aircraft. High and left now, you'll see another shape is formed. This was given its name back in the 1960s when NASA's Apollo program was in full swing. We put it in the display this year to celebrate the achievements of Major Tim Peake and his journey aboard the International Space Station. So now coming in from the left, celebrating Major Tim's journey and also Britain's latest involvement in the space program, this is Apollo. Hi. There, Reds 2 and 3 acknowledge the next move with a very set cadence in their voices. The other pilots continue counting in their heads using that cadence. On the count of 4, they extend their air brakes. On the count of 6, they retract their air brakes to ensure they drop back at the right rate to form this shape, which depicts the delta wing platform of the Royal Air Force's multi-role combat aircraft, the Eurofighter Typhoon. So we now get some red and white smoke coming on from the left as the boys come in Typhoon. Of the left-hand wing of Typhoon is Red 3. He's the other of our new pilots. He used to be a Typhoon pilot. He is Flight Lieutenant Cy Taylor. Cy started as a Tornado pilot, but then moved across to the Typhoon where he flew on the front line and then became an instructor teaching new Typhoon pilots. Looking right now, we're setting up another shape for a brand new manoeuvre this year which celebrates the Royal Air Force's fast jet workhorse. Since the start of 1991 and the First Gulf War, the Royal Air Force's Tornado Bomber Force has now been on operations continuously for 25 years. So coming in from the right, this is Tornado. 6 of the 9 pilots displaying right now are in fact former Tornado Bomber pilots. One of them is Red 5, who's at the front left of the 7-arrow shape leading Tornado. Red 5 is Flight Lieutenant Emmett Cox. He's actually from New Zealand, but he moved to the UK in 2002 to join the Royal Air Force and became a Tornado pilot and then an instructor teaching basic fast jet training. Looking over to the left now, you'll see another shape is formed. The 3 aircraft on each wing dropping to the very back of the formation are being Red 7's aircraft. Now, normally when the pilots are flying next to Red 1, they get a very good view of his aircraft, from which each of the pilots gets their references. They don't look at the aircraft only 6 feet away. They all have references on Red 1's jet. They just trust that their wingman will have his jet in the right place. In this shape, they're about 120 feet back from Red 1's aircraft, but still using his jet for their references. So it's a very difficult shape to fly. The white smoke is on, they're about to come left. This is Swan. The back left of Swan is Red 9. He's Flight Lieutenant Joe Hurston. He's in his 3rd and final year as a Red Arrows pilot. He's a former Hawk instructor and Tornado pilot. More recently, he's teaching on the new version of Hawk, which is the Royal Air Force's newest advanced jet trainer, the Hawk T Mark II. That's him at the top of the formation over to the right, as they form another shape which is reminiscent of a 1960s Royal Naval fighter, the Havilland Sea Vixen. We call it Big Vixen, and the pilots are getting ready to fly the Big Vixen roll. So now coming in from the right, get ready to give the pilots a big wave. They're about to once again go upside down at 400 miles an hour. Here we go, upside down now in that Big Vixen shape, 400 miles an hour. The closest parts of the jets, once again, around about 6 feet away from each other. On the far right of that shape is Red 8. He's Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell. Stu's in his 3rd and final year as a Red Arrows pilot. He started off instructing on the Tucano, then flew the Tornado before joining the team. And I know his wife Claire has just finished the Great North Run, so a big well done to Claire as well. Well, that's the end of the first part of the Red Arrows display. So far, all 9 jets together have been performing close formation aerobatics. Well, now we're going to split down into sections of between 2 and 7 jets for some more dynamic performing. Straight ahead, you see a big T shape. That's known as Dagger. The front of Dagger are Reds 1 to 5. They're known as Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And at the back are Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9. They're known as Jippo. Jippo was the nickname of the gentleman who first led the back 4 aircraft when the Red Arrows started flying 9-ship displays in 1968. So now flying directly towards the finish line. Enid at the top, Jippo at the bottom. Starting the second part of the display. This is the detonator. Keeping your eyes on the coloured smoke of Jippo. Smoke changing white on the left and right are Red 6 and 7, who together make up the synchro pair. Red 6 is on the left and Red 7 on the right. They're performing what we call derry turns. They're rolling the wrong way to now position back towards the seafront, currently flying at around 1,500 feet with full power on the jets. They're max performing back towards us. They'll start descending shortly to just 100 feet above the sea. Their closing speed is coming up now to 770 miles per hour. Cameras ready for the synchro pair and their first opposition pass manoeuvre. These are the opposition barrel rolls. Turn, says Red 6. They now keep full power on the jets and turn away from us, pulling 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity. Everything in the pilots' bodies is now 6 times heavier than normal, including their blood, which was to pool in their feet, so their G-suits have inflated around their legs